Just fresh off Pope Francis changing the Catechism on the death penalty. I'm sure everyone wants to know what you think.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question again? Pope Francis changing the... Okay. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, catechisms are not infallible anyway, by their nature. One thing that has to be borne in mind about it, as with the compendium of the social doctrine of the Church, is that, as the foreword of that document says, the Catechism of the Catholic Church quotes documents of varying solemnity, that is to say, varying importance. And so, when, in looking at the teaching of the Church, you see a document of lesser solemnity, lesser authority, contradicting one of greater, then you go with the one with the greater.
Okay.
So
what? Okay. What's the greater for the death penalty? What's happening here? I mean, did Pope Francis cite good sources?
He didn't cite any except himself. He cited a speech of his own. So basically, he says it's this way because I say so.
Okay.
Now, prior papal teaching on the death penalty has been based on the Church Fathers and things like that. And, of course, in the papal states, people were hung.
Yeah.
And I've heard, I don't know if it's true, that Pius XI ordered the immediate execution of a priest who had raped a child. I don't know if it's true. It may be apocryphal, but that's what I've heard. So, basically what Pope Francis is doing is inviting us to compare him to his predecessors.
Okay.
I wouldn't if I were him.
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be compared to my dad. I'd certainly come out on the short end of that stick.
Well, maybe he's counting on most people not referring to anything before 1960s.
Yeah, probably. But that's what we call a con job.
Hmm.
And I hate to think of our Holy Father as a penny-ante grifter.
Okay, well, for those whose memory don't go or who are not interested in anything before the 1960s, let's talk about things after 1960s. Let's talk about Pope John Paul's catechism.
Well,
and now, can you reconcile, because he accounted for the death penalty, and he says, under the circumstances where you're preventing loss of life in other areas, is justified. Can you reconcile that with Pope Francis's?
If you twist your head a little bit.
If you twist your head? What does that mean?
Basically, what he's saying that now everything has progressed to the point to where we can square the circle and everything's wonderful.
Square the circle.
Yeah. So everything's beautiful now, and so we don't need the death penalty under any circumstance.
Well, he's just pro-life. That's the real pro-life.
Thank you, Cardinal Seepage.
I mean, it's not just about abortion, okay? It's about immigration. It's about life everywhere. How come you guys ignore everything else and only pro-life? You guys don't care about anything else. I'm sick of it.
That's the seamless garment, which was basically invented by the late Cardinal Bernardine so that Teddy Kennedy could keep receiving communion.
Oh.
It's all guff. I mean, the fact of the matter is to compare the murder of innocent infants with the execution of murderers is horrific, number one. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, as far as immigration goes, I have not noted that the Vatican are filling the empty spaces there with immigrants from North Africa.
Wow, that's true.
I think the Holy Father, especially since he's not living in the Apostolic Palace, he should start settling him in the Vatican. I mean, Pius XII, to save Jews, filled both the Vatican and the extraterritorial buildings around Italy, around Rome anyway, and Castel Gandolfo with all sorts of refugees, Jews and other people, who were in danger of death. Certainly, the Holy Father should be doing the same with immigrants.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's funny. I hear some quotes from Cardinal Casper. There's a lot of disagreements between the African clergy and the Vatican. The Vatican doesn't seem to like the African clergy too much. Cardinal Arvinze, Cardinal Sarah.
No, well, see, when you're a hypocrite, it's very difficult to keep your story straight.
Mm.
And so they're very in favor of the Third World until the Third World speaks.
Okay.
But then when the Third World speaks, and says what the First World would be saying if it wasn't totally screwed up, they get upset.
Oh, okay.
So that's why Cardinal Casper, for instance, when he was being interviewed during the Synod, had all sorts of abusive names for the African bishops, then denied he had said it, then had what he said played back for him. But see, you got to bear in mind that the truth means nothing to these people. Mm-hmm. And that truth in itself does not mean what it means to you or me. Truth is an endlessly malleable thing. It's like a big cosmic marshmallow that can be reworked any moment to fit whatever is in your pointed little head. It's the same thing that guides the Supreme Court at the moment in its deliberations.
Yeah, I love the way you worded it. You provided a blurb for Birth Control, a book by Halliday Southern called Birth Control, a Statement of Christian Doctrine Against Neo-Malthusians. And you say, quote, truth means nothing to children of the lie.
Yeah. And the children of the lie could be a synonym for our ruling classes in church and state.
Yeah.
They are the children of the lie.
Yeah.
Nothing means anything to them except themselves.
Yeah.
And I wish I could give them what they give us.
Okay.
I mean that in the nicest way possible. Oozing with charity.